Have you ever felt like your own mind is your biggest obstacle? Like there's a voice inside you whispering doubt, fueling your anger, and keeping you from becoming the person you want to be? You try to move forward, to grow, to change, but something inside pulls you back. It's not the world outside that stops you, it's the war within. That voice, the inner critic, knows exactly where you're vulnerable. It turns mistakes into personal failures, fuels your fears until they become cages, and insists that you're not good enough. It tells you that you'll fail, that people won't accept you, that you should just stay where you are. This invisible force is your most constant opponent. You can't run from it, and you can't ignore it. A quote often attributed to the Buddha captures this truth with chilling accuracy. Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own thoughts, unguarded. But if your mind can be your greatest enemy, what happens when you learn to master it? For thousands of years, Stoic philosophy has taught exactly that, how to win the battle within. This ancient wisdom, practiced by emperors and slaves, generals and poets, offers a strategy for turning your inner battlefield into a place of clarity and strength. The Stoics believed the mind could be either a prison or a fortress, a place of weakness or a place of unstoppable power. Let's explore this path through three powerful principles of Stoicism: mastering the ego, taming your emotions, and accepting what you cannot control. 1. The first enemy, the deceptive tyranny of the ego. The first and perhaps most subtle enemy we face is the ego, not confidence, not self-respect. Ego is something different, something more insidious. It's an inflated sense of self, a fragile identity built on external validation. It's the belief that we are more important than we are, that we deserve more than others, and that being right is more important than being wise. Ego shows up when you're criticized and feel attacked, when someone disagrees with you and you take it as an insult, when your identity is tied to your achievements and failure feels like death. Ego thrives on comparison, approval, and control. It whispers that you must always be impressive, always be the best, and when you're not, it turns on you. Stoicism teaches us that ego is a trap. Epictetus warned, "You cannot learn what you think you already know." That's the core danger of ego. It makes growth impossible. It blinds us to our flaws and inflates our accomplishments. It keeps us defensive, anxious, and constantly chasing external things to feel worthy. The Stoic path to defeating the ego is through awareness, humility, and detachment. Awareness means observing your own thoughts. When you feel defensive or boastful, pause and ask, is this my rational self speaking or my ego? Learn to notice ego-driven reactions before they take over. This small moment of recognition can change everything. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking about yourself less. It's understanding that everyone is flawed, including you, and that every person you meet can teach you something. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, but I am not harmed by them." Detachment is about separating your self-worth from things you can't control, your reputation, your job title, your possessions. You are not your resume. You are not your social media following. You are the sum of your actions, your intentions, and your values. Practicing silence when the ego demands attention is an act of strength. It proves you no longer need approval to know who you are. Over time, ego loses its grip. You no longer need to be better than others. You just need to be better than you were yesterday. 2. The second enemy, the unruly storm of emotion. Once the ego quiets down, a new battle emerges. The storm of emotion. Anger, fear, envy, grief. These feelings can overwhelm our reason and sabotage our lives. Seneca called anger a brief madness, and indeed, emotions unchecked can turn the wisest person into a fool. Stoicism is often misunderstood as emotionless, but nothing could be further from the truth. The Stoics didn't aim to suppress emotion, they aimed to understand and master it. The goal isn't to become cold, but to respond consciously rather than react impulsively. The Stoic method for emotional mastery is simple but powerful. Pause, examine, respond with virtue. Pause the moment you feel an emotion rising. Take a breath, walk away. Create space between stimulus and response. That space is where your power lies. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Examine the thought behind the emotion. If someone insults you, what causes your anger? Is it their words, or your belief that their opinion defines your worth? If you're afraid, ask yourself, what am I afraid of losing? Is it something I ever truly controlled? Respond with virtue. If you're angry, practice patience. If you're afraid, practice courage. If you're jealous, practice gratitude. This is how you transform emotion from a source of chaos into a wellspring of strength. Every emotion can become a teacher if you choose to learn. Mastery doesn't mean you never feel, it means you remain in command. Over time, you build a reputation with yourself that you can trust your own mind, even in the storm. 3. The third enemy, the illusion of control. The final enemy may be the most universal, the illusion of control. We suffer because we try to control things that are not up to us. What others think, how events unfold, whether our plans succeed. Epictetus simplified life's challenges into 2 categories: what is within your control and what is not. Within your control, your thoughts, your choices, your actions, your attitude. Outside your control, other people, outcomes, the past, and the future. Most suffering comes from confusing the two. We obsess over outcomes we can't guarantee, people we can't change, and circumstances we didn't create. We tie our happiness to the wind and wonder why we feel so unsteady. The Stoic solution is not to stop caring, it's to care only about what's yours to control. Be like the archer, aim true, train hard, and release the arrow. But don't demand that the wind obey you. Do your best and accept the result. That is freedom. So when you're stressed, anxious, or frustrated, ask, is this in my control? If the answer is no, then let it go. If the answer is yes, then act with clarity and courage. This shift is life-changing. You stop wasting energy. You stop blaming others, you reclaim your power. We've explored 3 powerful enemies that live within: ego, emotion, and the illusion of control. And yet, each of these enemies can be transformed. You can defeat ego with awareness, humility, and detachment. You can tame emotion with pause, examination, and virtue. You can overcome anxiety by focusing only on what you can control. This is not an overnight transformation. It's a daily practice, a discipline. But every step you take in mastering your mind gives you more strength, more freedom, more peace. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The inner war may never truly end. But once you begin to win it, one moment, one thought at a time, your mind stops being your prison. It becomes your fortress. And from that fortress, you can face the world with calm, clarity, and unshakable strength. If this guide resonated with you, consider subscribing for more wisdom on philosophy, self-mastery, and Stoic practice. Like this post if you found it helpful, and drop a comment sharing which of these 3 inner battles you find the hardest. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're all fighting the same invisible war. Let's grow stronger together.